Okay. Well, yeah, Richard, it is a pleasure to sit down with you ahead of your Progress appearance in February. Around Valentine's Day, I believe, in the UK. You'll be in Manchester. How are you feeling about facing Man Like DeReiss? Of course, one of the globally renowned UK talents to come out in the last few years.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot going on there between my Progress debut, my first time ever matchup with Man Like DeReiss. Now I'm just realizing it's Valentine's Day, that this show is on Valentine's Day.
Think so, around that, yeah.
Well, that might not be good news for some of the mates who are showing up with their girlfriends as a Valentine's Day gift. These women get to see Richard Holliday for the first time ever in Manchester.
Yeah,
So
it is. It is. I just checked. I was fact checking myself. Yeah, February 14th. So yeah.
sure, right. So again, a lot going on. In terms of my Progress debut, this is a long time coming. Progress is one of the top promotions, not just in the UK, but in the world. Of course, they are renowned. They are somewhere that everybody in the wrestling business wants to perform at least once. So this is my time. This is my time to shine. I'm going up against one of their top guys, Man Like DeReiss, who I have seen in the GCW locker rooms in America, and he's quite talented. I will give him that. And he's on a bit of a run at Progress, right? Am I?
Yes,
Am I
yes,
correct in
indeed.
saying that?
There is
Yeah,
there is a buzz. There is a buzz about the guy everywhere in the UK and obviously beyond as well. So yes, very
sure.
much a run.
Right. Well, there's a buzz about me too, right? There's a major buzz about me. So the preceding all of these matches, those might have been his nights. But on the 14th of February, that is not his night. That's my night. That's my debut. That will not be spoiled. That will not be tarnished. That will be a night to remember for me, for Progress, for everybody.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's going to be very exciting to have you over in Manchester as well, up north in the UK. You know, great for the wrestling scene in that city. Have you had fish and chips yet? Because I think you came over in the UK, was it last year or the year before? You've been to the UK to do some tours and talks and things like that. Have you had your fish and chips since you've been over last time?
So here's my fish and chips story for you is I did a 10-day tour over there. Now, I'm a professional wrestler. I'm a professional athlete, meaning I have a certain way that I like to look and train and eat. But I was in England and I said, you know what? I'm going to get these fish and chips, but I'm going to wait until after my last show. Okay. My last show was on a Sunday. The pubs over there apparently were not serving fish and chips at this particular hour. Therefore, I missed out on fish and chips. Now, I will say I wasn't really privy to the knowledge of knowing that really the traditional way to get fish and chips is just one big giant piece of fish, right? And they're not like fish sticks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of grosses me out, to be honest with you. So
Big, chunky, greasy things. Yeah.
yeah, I'm not into it. I'm glad I didn't get it. And I'm coming back over there for a longer period of time. I don't think I'm gonna get it.
Right. Okay. And there's different. So you can get very posh places that'll do really fancy fish and chips, but then are you really getting the UK experience if you're not having the greasy? Basically you can get like scraps. That's it. You can get like scraps, and it's all very greasy, and it doesn't sound like your vibe, man, to be honest. But
No, it's not. But, I did have some traditional cuisines over there. I had a Scotch egg.
Yeah.
I had the breakfast.
Yeah.
I didn't have. Is it black pudding? Is
The
it
black
white
pudding? Yes, black pudding. Yeah.
I did not have it.
Right. So some of the stuff you'll return to, perhaps the English breakfast, you'd go
Yes.
back to, but not fish and chips. Yeah.
I'll indulge a bit, I believe.
Right. Okay. Give it a try. Give it a try. Absolutely. Before we return to the UK audience, when we finish up, because I want to talk to you about getting your flowers from the UK audience, I want to ask you about your development as a performer, because obviously you've appeared in multiple promotions, very, very successful in MLW, and I wanted to get your spin a little bit deep for what is a late evening for me in the UK. But what is your definition of success, and how has that changed since your start in MLW? You obviously had, you've appeared in other organizations as well, AEW. You've been all over the world. So how has your definition of success changed since your beginnings in MLW to now being able to appear in the UK at Progress and work for these renowned organizations?
I don't know. Success is kind of an evergreen term.
Mm,
There's so many different ways to look at it. In terms of how I try to approach this business is, I just want to be better today than I was yesterday, and I want to be better
mm,
tomorrow than I am today.
mm.
And the way my career has gone, I have done just that. My 2024 was the most successful year of my career. What does that mean? I traveled the most. I made the most money. I had the most memorable matches. My stock increased. My buzz increased. That's what success is. Success is continual growth. If you have a monster year and then you tail off, well, then that's not successful. It's about getting better, getting
Yeah,
bigger, having your name grow, your brand grow.
yeah.
And the Richard Holliday brand, it grows each and every single day. That's why I believe I'm one of the most highly sought after talents in the world, one of the hottest free agents in the world, and one of the hottest commodities in the world.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think that that's important. It's important to talk about your entrepreneurial work as well. Obviously, you had it was a few years ago under a different name, but you have the rarefied air, not breed, rarefied air blend of coffee, and you've obviously been doing other things as well. How important is that for you to have? Obviously, your successful wrestling career. Your background in marketing is there. So, how important is it for you to have other things? Not that it makes less wrestling less important for you, but other things to your bow, the coffee, being able to, do the seminars, for example. Yeah, a multi. What do they call it? The gig economy, I believe they call it here. Well, do they call it that here in the UK? Maybe in the US and Canada as well. But just
I know
having
what you're trying to say.
multiple jobs. Yeah,
I know what you're saying. Well, I just think it's important in the wrestling business to be more than just who you are when you're in the ring. I think that you have to have layers. I think you have to have substance to yourself. And, people articulate coffee with myself. We're almost synonymous in that sense, which is, I mean, really coffee and wrestling. What's the correlation there? The bridge is Richard Holliday. And that's the important thing is a lot of wrestlers will get into the business and they'll just focus on the wrestling, and they should to an extent. But you want to grow your brand. You want to be more than just a wrestler. That's why I've done some acting things lately. I have some coming out on Fox News that's going to be coming out later this year. I just did a commercial for something. I have the coffee business, and you just have to kind of be a star. I'm a star. That's why I have a lot going on.
yeah. Yeah, lots of strings to the bow, Richard. And again, it's a testament to your work ethic. I know this is an interesting question to go back to. I know it was a few years ago now, and you've obviously focused on your wrestling career. But as somebody that works with people with various difficulties, challenges, disabilities who are going through, obviously you went through a Hodgkin's diagnosis a few years ago and beating that. And I just wanted to take the time to sort of ask you, because there are wrestlers and other performers that are going through these challenges. How do you reflect back on that time as somebody that was able to beat it, as somebody that was able to come back better? I know you've talked about Roman Reigns in previous interviews and other people across sports that have done the same. How do you reflect on that now that you're so, I don't know if far removed would be the right phrase, but it's part of your past, but there are people that were, as you've said in previous interviews, motivated by your story and probably still are. I don't know how you feel about that, looking back at it now in that period of time.
Yeah, it does feel far removed.
Mm,
I think that's just because my life has just been so go go go, and I feel
yeah.
so great. But in past interviews, I did talk about how there were other athletes who have inspired me, and I never had a conversation with them, and I never, they don't know who I am, but
Mm,
I knew who they were, and I knew what they went through, and I just saw them getting back to doing what they were meant to do. whether it be playing football or baseball or wrestling, whatever that is, and they go on with their lives. But it was always a part of them. So that's how I want to be, where it's, I'm far removed from it. I don't really talk about it much, but if somebody were to go look up my backstory and find that out, well, hey, man, maybe that inspires them.
Yeah.
And then maybe they're going through something similar, and God forbid, I hope they're not. But if they are, then they could look to me and say, well, he went through this and now he's doing this.
Yeah.
So there is that light at the end of the tunnel, and then you can just go and live your life normally.
Absolutely, yeah. So more to the story, as it were. I think that's it's really exciting to see what you're doing now, and obviously what you're coming from. And I think it's a good message for people who want to progress and develop despite challenges. 2 or 3 more questions now, then, Richard, before we finish up. I love what you're doing on social media with the being given your flowers, and I think that's really important. I think there's a lot of people out there that maybe feel like they deserve their flowers. You, as someone that has again achieved multiple championships and things, I would say deserve your flowers. But where did the genesis of that? I'm not going to say it. I'm not sure it's a gimmick. That's probably the wrong word. Where did that idea come from? When was it that you were like, right, I deserve my flowers. I'm going to tell people, to the point where now I'm getting showered with flowers at independent shows and various shows. Where did that idea come from? Because I was watching the promo and I just think it's really cool. And I think a lot of people, as I'm sure you're finding, resonate with that feeling of succeeding so much that they want their flowers, but maybe aren't getting them. I quite like that as an idea.
Right. Well, I like the word that you use, the genesis of it. It just kind of dawned on me. My God, am I good at this? I'm great at this. And it just got to the point where I am traveling each and every weekend. I'm all over the country. I'm international. I'm main eventing almost everywhere I go. I'm making buzz everywhere I go. Everywhere I go, people talk about Richard Holliday. People want to see me. I always have the best match on the card. And that's not being braggadocious. I think that's just kind of the reality of it. And I want my flowers. I really want to hear how great I am now. I don't want to hear how great I am when I'm retired or at the very back end of my career, where people say, you know what, man, he was great, or we should give him his flower. No, I want them now. Yeah. I don't want them when I'm dead. I don't want, that's not what I want. I want them now. Just tell me how great I am now, because I deserve it and I earned it. And sure, there might be other people who feel like they should get their flowers now, and that's all well and good for them. But who put it on a t-shirt first? Therefore, it's mine. But in terms of it, I want my flowers because I've earned them.
Yes, absolutely. And again, a testament to the work ethic and well done. Before we round up then with messages for your UK fans who will give you the flowers when you come out, I wanted to talk to you because I know you've touched on, bands and artists, music in other interviews. We do have a musical strand to what we do. Are there any kind of bands and artists that you're listening to at the moment? Any gigs you want to go to, perhaps when you're over in the UK? Any bands that you love that you're drawing motivation from, or artists, whether that's bands, acoustic, whatever? What are you listening to at the moment?
Well, my 3 favorite bands in no particular order are Tool, Metallica, and Dave Matthews Band.
Nice.
I don't listen to Dave when I'm in the gym, and I spend most of my time in the gym. So really, it's I listen mostly to Tool and Metallica. In terms of who I'd like to see, man, I'd like to see if there's some concerts out in the UK while I'm out there. There's a few bands who I think are quite good. I don't know if they're actually UK based, but Catfish and the Bottlemen.
Yeah, great. They are UK based.
Are good.
I've put you on the spot, haven't I?
Wombats.
Yeah.
Liverpool, I believe. Two Door Cinema Club.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes. Yeah. So there's a lot of bands kind of in that realm, in that genre, that I think are quite good. And hopefully they're playing somewhere in the UK while I'm out there. That would be nice.
Yeah, a lot of a lot of really good UK indie bands there that you're recommending to people, and really good musical taste. I think they go back quite a long way, and the Wombats are usually touring, so definitely they tour all the time. So yeah, appreciate you sharing those for me, Richard. So yeah, we've come towards the end. I wanted to just ask you quickly because you're obviously very experienced in GCW, as is Man Like DeReiss, who you'll be facing. GCW coming over to the UK, fantastic independent promotion over in the States coming over to the UK. That's a big deal. Not everybody gets to do that. So how, even whether you're there or not, how does it feel to see GCW succeeding in that way?
GCW is the biggest independent professional wrestling promotion in the world. Just this past Sunday, we sold out the Hammerstein Ballroom. And of course, I was in the most marquee matchup in the steel cage, which everybody was talking about and still talking about. But GCW is doing things that nobody else can do. And we're doing things that people say that we can't, like sell out the Hammerstein Ballroom. Well, guess what? We did it. Each and every weekend, GCW is somewhere. I can't commit to every single GCW day because, like I said, I'm so sought after that just can't possibly happen. And I have to spread the wealth.
Yeah.
But yes, they're over in the UK. It's this weekend, actually. I will not be there because I wanted to make my UK tour special to just the UK promotions. But GCW is the best, and it's a machine, but it's an independent machine, and it's not it's not funded by billionaires or anything. It's kind of funded by the talent that we bring to the table, not in terms of monetary, but what we do in the ring. That's what drives GCW forward.
Absolutely. And again, a great message for, in terms of creating opportunity for UK talent who want to go international and, of course, international talent like yourself. I love what GCW are doing. So your message then to the UK fans that do give you your flowers, that have supported your career since way back, in your MLW days, and obviously since what you've achieved since, what is your message to the UK supporters that do give you your flowers and will do as you arrive to face Man Like DeReiss at Progress?
Message is simple. My schedule is posted. If I am near you, or if I am in a driving distance to you, hell, if you have to buy a plane ticket to come and see me, it is well worth it, because the air is rare now in England. And I'm actually going all over. I'm actually going to Scotland as well. So the United Kingdom is now breathing rarefied air. And I want you to give me my flowers. Show up with a bouquet of flowers like they do here in the States and give them to me.
Love it. Love it. I hope you get them, Richard. And thank you so much for making the time for me today. I really, really appreciate it. Hopefully we'll speak again soon.
You got it, my friend.